continue in the current module with Lesson 8, we're going to focus on the very important Supreme Court decision of Brown versus Board of Education, decided in 1954. Brown is generally regarded as perhaps one of the most important decisions of the 20th century. And it's very important because, in effect, it reversed the separate but equal formula that was applied in Plessy v. Ferguson as it relates to school desegregation, school segregation really, but the real implications of it are far beyond public schools, as we shall see. The real implication goes to the very core of what segregation policies were like in the United States. Brown itself is a straightforward decision. As we will see, the decision simply says that under the concept of equal protection in the 14th Amendment, separate but equal has no place, and that separate is inherently equal, which in effect is really the proposition that was lurking there in Sweat v. Painter that we talked about last week. Once dealing with the Brown decision, we will look also this week at a couple of decisions, such as Cooper versus Aaron, where the Supreme Court had to deal with the difficulty it was facing in trying to get southern communities and southern states to comply with the 1954 decision. It was very difficult, and very little progress was made. And Cooper v. Aaron, coming out of the Little Rock episode in 1957 and 58 in Arkansas, represented an attempt by the government to integrate Central High School in Little Rock, and the attempt by local authorities to prevent that from occurring. It was in Cooper v. Aaron that the Supreme Court drew one of its lines in the sand, so to speak, by ruling that these southern states had to comply with this mandate in the Brown decision, and the threat of possible violence was no excuse for not complying with the ruling. And what's unusual about Cooper v. Aaron is that the Supreme Court, besides simply being unanimous in its judgment, tried to emphasize the importance of this decision by having each justice sign the opinion of the court individually, as opposed to having one justice write the opinion for the court, and as is typically the case in unanimous judgment, as this is, all the other justices simply concur quietly. In this case, every justice signed the case, and it was their way of signaling that they were united, all for one and one for all, in effect, united behind this attempt to ensure that the mandate of the Brown decision was put in